Welcome back to the Flow Friday Sports Show. Sarah McMillan is on the line with me to tell us all the latest from Gawler and District Softball. It was another big weekend of games. Sarah, thanks for coming back on the show once again. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me once again. Yeah, might be a soggy weekend this weekend.
Yeah, there's a little bit of rain about, so we'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully it holds off and the diamond stays nice and dry. But there was a bit of news from the Gawler and District Softball Association over the weekend just gone. We'll get into the games in a moment, but a big highlight was Beck Lane from the Giants playing her 350th game, a massive milestone.
Yes, it is a massive milestone, especially considering she had a big break. She just went out and tried to start her own team. She's had 5 kids in her break. Had a comeback, and 350 is pretty big for one club. It's just awesome.
Well, she's got a pitcher, she's got a batter, she's got a first, second and third baseman, so it sounds like a team to me. Might be lacking a bit in the outfield, but sounds like a good team nevertheless.
Yes, I'm sure she can pick some of those up somewhere else.
Oh, very good. Well, congratulations to Beck Lane. That is a fantastic achievement. And we've also got Erin Muldoon playing her 300th game for GDSA this weekend. So another weekend and another very, very sensational milestone worth celebrating.
Yeah, 400 games, 400 games.
400 games. I beg your pardon. I've sold her short. 400 games for Erin Muldoon. An even bigger occasion to celebrate.
Yes. She started off in Hornets, and Hornets aren't around anymore, but she was in juniors there, and she's been playing for Blue Jays ever since. And, she's a massive asset to the team, as well as, just being out there for that long. It's a great achievement.
Fantastic. Well, some big milestones. Congratulations to Beck Lane and Erin Muldoon on those milestones. And the show goes on. We've got our regular programming. Let's go through the weekend that was. No games in the juniors, unfortunately, but plenty of good action in the seniors. Let's start in the Div 2, and we'll start with a very big win for the Giants over the Blue Jays, 17-4. I think that might be the highest score of the season so far.
Yes, I think it just scrapes in to hit the highest score. Yes, it was a good game. Blue Jays really struggled to finish off their runs, and a number of errors in the field sort of kept them behind a little bit. But not to knock back the Giants. Giants played a fantastic game, along with Beck Lane playing her 350th. Yeah, the whole team pulled together and played a real good game.
Any homers for Beck Lane in her 350th as part of that 17?
No, not a home run. We're trying to not emphasise the fact that she really struggled to get through the game with a bit of an injury, but she was ignoring it. She'll be right. It's no crying in softball, they say.
No, fair enough. Well, she's got enough runs on the board over the other 349 games, I'm sure, but a great milestone in that one. Kangas beat the Vikings as well in Div 2, 9-8. A thriller here in this one. How did this one go down? Was there a match-winning run, a walk-off homer, anything like that?
Oh, it was a very close game all the way through. It was almost run for run each innings, and with a home run to Alex Hill from Vikings, and then matched up by a couple of other runs coming through from Kangas. But right at the end of the game, a strikeout, I think, really probably pulled off the game.
Very good. That one would have been an absolute thriller. So the Kangas scraping through in a pretty high-scoring game and a very tight contest. Let's go to the Div 1s, and Vikings played the Kangas in Div 1 as well, but the Vikings managed to get the win in this one 7-3.
Yes, a bit of a different game in the Div 1 this time. Kangas got in early and got their 3 runs in, but then they just couldn't keep going, couldn't keep the runs coming in. Vikings matched their 3 runs and then were able to keep bringing the runs in for the other innings. But Kangas struggled with the strike zone and also a number of errors following up in the end. I think may have got a little bit down on themselves and couldn't pull themselves back out of it.
All right, so a good win for the Vikings, a good fight back from the Kangas, bad luck falling short. And in our other Div 1 game, Blue Jays beat 2Wells 7-5, and this one looks like it might have been a bit of a thriller as well.
Yes, this is a very tight game. One of those games where you really had to double-check the score, thinking, who is in front the whole way through? Because sort of matching 1-for-1, and then Blue Jays a couple in front. Just really tight games. Each innings ended with runners on, just couldn't finish off the runs. But, yeah, very exciting game to watch.
All right, good action last weekend. Now let's look ahead to tomorrow's action, and the juniors are back in action. Trinity playing the Giants in both the under-14s and the under-17s. So both junior grades back in action, and these ones should be a couple of good games.
Well, I'd hope to see that with a couple of weeks off, Trinity have pulled themselves together as a team, and we'll see how they've come out with a number of trainings and see how they play out in the real game. And Giants have been quite dominant in the juniors, so hopefully they can come out and show us a good game as well.
All right, so the double header there, the under-14s and 17s with the same matchups. And, well, it's the same situation in Div 1 and Div 2. We've got identical matchups. So let's start with the Div 2s before we get into the Div 1s. Vikings taking on Two Wells. Yes,
well, Two Wells haven't seen a win here, but I would like to think that we're getting close. We're very close to coming off with a win. I think they're pretty much evenly matched up, the Div 2s, Div 1s as well, to be honest with you. But we'll see how Two Wells pull it together this week, and fingers crossed they'll come out with a win, but I think Vikings might be a little bit stronger this week.
Vikings will be looking for a bit of revenge after going down by just a run last week, so that should be a good game. They'll certainly be hungry for the win. Both teams will be. And the Blue Jays taking on the Kangas in our other game. So the Blue Jays coming off that big loss to the Giants last week, they will definitely be looking to get a few more runs on the board.
Yes, I think Blue Jays tend to come out a little bit stronger that next week after a loss. I think Kangas, even though they've come off a big win, I wouldn't be slackening off to come out to this game.
All right, Giants on the bye in Div 2 and into Div 1. Like I said, we've got the same matchups here. So Vikings taking on Two Wells. Vikings coming off a good win. Two Wells coming off that heartbreaking loss. So this one, once again, looms as a pretty good game.
Yes, and very similar to Div 2, but I think Vikings and Two Wells, I think they're very, very much on par. And I reckon we're in with a good chance for a win for Two Wells this week. But don't want to put Vikings down because they are very well. But I would like to think we can get up on over the top of them this week.
Oh, very good, very good. Last game to go through, Blue Jays taking on the Kangas, rounding out the action for the upcoming weekend.
This one's a tough one to call. Especially Kangas coming off a loss. I think they will come out a little bit stronger. But Blue Jays, I think they've got a bit more fight in them this week than... because they only just overtook Two Wells last week. I think they'll come out even stronger this week for a game against Kangas. I think it'll be a good game, but I'm vouching for Blue Jays this week.
The tips are in. It's going to be another good weekend in Gawler and District Softball. Hopefully that rain holds off for a little bit longer. We've had a little bit of rain about today in the area, and hopefully it is nice and dry and a perfect day for softball tomorrow. Sarah, enjoy all the action. Thank you again for stopping in to update us on the Gawler and District Softball Association. Looking forward to doing it again next week.
Thank you so much. And yes, look forward to next week.